Yeah, and shalom, everyone. Shalom. I want to welcome everyone to King James Bible University Precept Master. I'm Elder Michael Johnson from the Lost Sheep of Israel. And today we have a pretty good one. We have a full plate today, actually. Um, One of the deacons, he actually is bringing forward a teaching this afternoon, we'll be looking at. He have strange desires. Actually, be coming later on this afternoon by Deacon Micah. This will be coming out over there at OKC, King James Bible University, and it'll be 3 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Central time, and 6 o'clock Eastern time. So that should be a very, very interesting teaching based on what's been going on. So we need to really pay attention. Make sure if you get a chance, I will make sure I'm there with bells on, because it's a lot, thus said the Lord, that this young deacon is going to be bringing forth. So if you had a chance, make sure you go over there and put that notification over there to make sure you can catch it during your times. And we still got to make sure we focus in on later on where we will be doing the Passover at the end of this month. And the same thing is, I ask people not to send emails, but for whatever reason, they still send emails. And I'm still asking you again, because all I'm doing is deleting those. Because I'm asking you from the beginning not to send emails based on that there. So you want to go over there and you want to register, excuse me, at the link that we showed there. And that's where you do it. Please do not send me an email saying that you want to be signed up for that. And we got to still make sure we pay attention to what is actually going on today with, Romans. Because last week we looked at it and took a deeper look at this and seen some things that was going on that we need to understand for ourselves. So we not going to hold too much, because we got work to do in the back, and as well we got another full plate, because we got another deacon, another brother over here that's tied to us that's going to be doing another teaching this afternoon. So we got to go through this, and we're going to look at some things. So what we want to do, I want to invite you over from where we left off at to where we was going into the next verse, was Romans chapter 15, and we was looking at verse 13. That's where we was kicking it up at. But we want to find out a lot of stuff that's going on. We need to find out a lot of what's going on. Because last week we was getting more serious than what was happening, and we need to understand exactly what we need to do according to the word. Not according to what some man said or what I say. What we have to do all the time is look at the word and according to the precepts of the doctrine that is within this Bible. And we're going to pick this up at verse 13, as we said. We're going to go here, and this is what we're going to focus at. And it tells us this. It tells us this and make sure that this is all plain. It says, now the God of hope fills you with joy and peace in believing, that ye may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Ghost. You said a mouthful here, but this is Paul normal stuff. So last week we was looking at, and we learned more about circumcision of the flesh, because if we do circumcision of the flesh, then that's going to bring us into the doctrine of the hope, what we need to start learning about. Because as we learned about the circumcision of the flesh, to be patient with one another as we come into this resurrection from the flesh. These are infirmities of us, and many times these are our weaknesses. These are our weaknesses. One of the weaknesses is the things that's embedded in flesh. That's one of the things we want to know, what is embedded in flesh. And long as we continue to be working in flesh, and we really know that's our infirmities. Let me show you what we're talking about here. We're gonna start digging into this. Well, I'm gonna take you over to Matthew chapter 26. 26, and we're gonna look at verse 41. We're gonna look at this first box. And it says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation, that the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. We have to be circumcised from this. This is what we have to be circumcised from. Because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, and it'll fall to the wiles of the devil that's in this world. That's what we have to remember. We have to know which angle he's coming in. And the temptation of the devil to where many of us will fall. The spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. And if we're not paying attention, he's going to get us every time. Every time he's going to get us. So let's look at this, and we're going to start picking this apart to get our game plan together to where we can understand this together, so we know. And the first thing we have to do, we're going to do this before we do anything. First thing you have to recognize, your flesh, my flesh, everyone's flesh is weak. Do not sit there and think that your flesh is strong. Not in this world. Because if you believe your flesh is strong, as many people teach contrary to this, then you will fall to the wiles of the devil. It's automatic. So if you sitting there thinking your flesh is strong, then you might well click and go somewhere else where they got strong flesh. That's the best thing for you to do. Because here we recognize that our flesh is weak. This is the only way you can do it. People will sit there, oh, we're going to put the devil under this. We're going to do the devil. The devil sitting there laughing at us when we do things such as that. But we have to recognize that our flesh is weak. The spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. Let's look at this in John chapter 3. We're going to pick it up at verse 6. And he says this. He says, that which is born of flesh is flesh. Because flesh is going to be obedient to flesh if you let flesh run. I don't care how we look at it, how we flip it, how we script it out. If you born of flesh and you doing the things of flesh, then the things of flesh is things you going to do, period. And then you know the other part that way he said. He said, and that which is born of spirit is spirit. No difference. You got things of the flesh, you got things of the spirit. And it's telling you right up front when you see in verse 7, it says, marvel not that I said unto thee, must be born again. Because most of us, we know all the time, because you got some people going to lie and they're going to tell you they were born of something else. We was born in flesh, and we have to be born again. We have to be all born again. So don't let no one running around telling you these lies and come here and you're going to do this and do that, and we're going to change these things for you to where you will be saved. You have to be born again. Things of the flesh has nothing no good. But the part what we need to know is it's another doctrine out there that we need to unlock the key and understand what it is. And it's the doctrine of hope. The doctrine of hope. He just said what it was earlier. We look back at it and he's telling you now, he says, now the God of hope, hope fill you with joy. And you can have this peace when you're doing this. It says, now God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing that you may abound in hope. So we need to understand the doctrine of hope. It's a doctrine of hope that is here. And we have to get the understanding of this complete doctrine of hope. Let's look over here in Romans. We're going to go into the third box and we're going to look at it. In verse 24, it says this. In looking at Romans chapter 8 and verse 24, it says, for we are saved by hope. We are saved by hope. And it's not hope that you see. Because he's telling you, he says, but hope that is seen is not hope. So why is people telling you to go to this building? Because they're going to say, that's a sign of hope. That's craziness. We're saved by hope. And he said, hope that is seen is not hope. So it's telling you, well, for what a man seeth, why hope ye hope for it? Why? Why are you going to hope for something you can clearly see? They telling you, come here, come there. And your hope is in this building. But it gets better. It says, but if ye hope for that what see not, then we with patience wait for it. But we don't want to do that. We want to sit there and look at this man over there and do things. Actually, let's go over here real quick to Ezra, and we're going to come back. We want to look at Ezra chapter 9, verse 12. It says, now, for that reason, give not your daughters unto their sons, neither take their daughters unto your sons, neither seek their peace, nor or their will forever, that ye may be strong and eat good of the land and leave it to an inheritance unto your children forever. But the problem we have is what? We want to see things that is here, and then we sit there and we hope for them. He says, so why are you going to sit there and hope for something you see? Why are you hoping for it? You sitting there, you saying, oh, I want this. Why are you hoping for it? You want to sit there and you done seen the lives of people here, and then all of a sudden I want that. Oh, I want that for my child. I want this for my child. I want that guy like that for my child. I don't want him because we all poor. They rich. We want my child like that. I'm going to train my child up to hate these kind of people, even though they one of them, but I'm going to teach them how to hate these people because I want what they have and they can get my child what they need to have. He said, don't you look for their hope and don't you look for their peace. Don't you look for their wealth. But we do it. We do this. We do it like clockwork. Like clockwork. Let's look at something. Let's look at what we should be doing, but we don't do it. What we should be doing, but we don't do it. And it is going to tell it to us right here. 1 second. Let me get this over here real quick. And it's not pushing over. 1 second. But 1 second. Let me sit there and see here real quick. I'm going to push this over and I'm going to push it back. Let me push this over 1 second because it's... Let me push this over because it's switched over. 1 second. And why it did that, I don't know. Let me see. 1 second here. And let me push this. Give me 1 second. Because if not, I'm going to end up running from one Bible area. So give me 1 second here. Oh, that's why the 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. The connection for this went off. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, this here. I'm just trying to get that set. So just give me 1 minute. And just give me 1 second here. I'm just trying to tie one thing up. One second. Let me try it one more time. And why it's doing that?
But it's not showing any symptoms. Oh, some kind of natural immunity? No telling.
And now let me try it one more time. If not, I'm going to run from this one. Because it's not setting this here. It don't want to connect to a monitor for whatever reason. So that's what I'm trying to get set real quick. So just bear with me 1 second. Let me see here. I'm going to try to get it once. Why is it doing that one that way? And it don't want to. So what we're going to do, I'm going to run this from 1 because I see it don't want to connect. It's trying to still disconnect and from it. And what it's to keep doing is keep doing it. It keep disconnected from it. Yeah, it's keep disconnecting from it. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep running this. We're going to run this on the other one. Because this one here do not want to work correctly. It do not want to run correctly. And why it has done that. And yeah, still it refuses to connect that. It refuses to connect it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this a whole nother way. So give me 1 moment. Just give me 1 moment. And we're going to run this a whole nother way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this up here. And we're going to run this another way. And see, and it's now trying to sit there doing another thing. But that's okay. We're going to sit here and run this another way. So just bear with me for about 2 minutes. And that's all I need. We're going to take care of this. We're going to take care of this one here. And so let me switch this over, switch that. And let me put this over here. Okay, so now what I want to do, I'm going to switch this one out. And we have that one. So I'm going to take this one off. Actually, that one went out. This one went out. Okay. so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this one because I see it don't want to. Yeah, do not want to do it. So yeah, I'm going to run the one. So let's move back over. Let me make sure what's going on. And everything is moving differently right now on the Bibles. So I tell you what, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, you guys. I'm going to have to actually go off, and I'm going to go off and come right back on because I see it don't want to do something correctly. So let me go off. I'm going to end this one, and I'm going to start it right back up. So just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. So I'm going to have to end this one here, and then I'm going to start another one because I see it don't want to act correctly over here.